Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite security officer here. And today I thought I would share with you guys how I seriously went from being a stay-at-home mom, like a full domesticated stay-at-home mom, to being a security officer. Let me tell you guys, it was not easy. It was a very long road, okay? Because I stayed at home for 8 years. And when I say stay at home, I mean, like, on top of that, I was very, like, isolated. So I didn't drive back then. I didn't have my license. So, yeah, I was really staying at home, you know? I just always get asked a lot by like my colleagues and people around the hospital, like, hey, what did you do before this, and I just gotta tell them, like, I actually didn't have a job. I came from dealing with kids all day. And let me tell you guys, it was not an easy road. It was pretty rough. You know, I had stayed at home from the age of 22 to 30, and it was long. I was just long overdue to get out the house, okay? But it was never my goal to be a stay-at-home mom. I always see myself as someone having a career, you know what I mean? I always see myself like having a set job. And when I had my first son, I always envisioned going back to work. I worked at a factory, which is where I met my husband, and it wasn't the best job, but I liked working there. It gave money for the bills, and when I was 7 months, I just had to quit. I couldn't be on my feet for 9 hours a day, literally standing in one spot. And I also had a specialized job where I had to move pallets and help move product, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I started staying at home, and I had planned that, after a while, I would eventually go back or find a new job. And instead, I guess life had other plans. My son was born in 2015, and it was just like a roller coaster of problems. And being a new mom, it's like I don't know how to handle things like that. For starters, my son was already having hold on guys, gotta run, and then we'll get back to it. Alright guys, I'm back. But anyways, my son was born with just a lot of needs. His head was too big right off the start, so we had to go see a specialist. Then he was diagnosed with autism. Then, he wasn't walking at 2.5, 3 years old. So me and my husband were just overwhelmed with specialist appointment, therapies, early intervention, everything that you can think of, we were doing to try to help our son. So it was just best, honestly, for me to stay at home and be the main one to take care of those things. And honestly, after a while, I just became too comfortable. I didn't want to. I just put myself in this bubble. It's hard to explain, but I just felt like I can't work. And that's why I kept telling myself, over time, I really started believing that. I was just like, I can't work. I have too much anxiety from everything, so I just can't work. I can't do a job. It's too hard. It's too much. Excuse me. Sorry. I don't want to do it. And my husband never pushed me to, which, he didn't have to. Of course, he was happy with me staying at home. Because when I say, staying at home, I mean, I was taking care of our son and cooking and cleaning, all the good stuff. And he enjoyed that. That's what he grew up with. So he was fine with it, and we could afford it at the time. So I just was happy with it, or I told myself that I was. And progressively over time, my mental health declined. I was just so depressed. I felt so useless. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to feel like a contributing member of society. I wanted to be out with people, and I just was starting to go downhill. And eventually, 2020 happened, and that was kind of like my wake-up call. That kind of shook me out of it, because, we all remember it felt like the world was going to end. And I just told myself, I had, between being a stay-at-home mom, like, I had tried to go back to school and do different things, but none of them stuck. And I told myself in 2020, I was like, no, I really need to do something with my life, and I'm going to finally pursue what I've loved for years. And for years, I have loved criminal justice, like true crime, all of that. I just decided enough was enough, and I signed up for online school to get my associates in criminal justice. I was like, no, I am going to do something with my life. I'm going to pursue my dream, because my dream has always been, still kind of is, I really wanted to be a juvenile probation officer. I really want to help kids, especially like at-risk kids. I want to be a support system for them. I want to be like their cheerleader. I want to be there for them. I want to push them to their limits. And so I decided to go to school for 2 years and just kind of take control of my life again, like burst out of that comfort zone. And that was my thing. I just was pushing myself to be uncomfortable, which, yes, it freaking sucked. I was not happy with it, but it was necessary. I had to do that, literally, or I don't know. If I didn't, I would literally probably still be at home to this day. And in between that time, 2 years going to school, I did have another son, my youngest, and I gained control of myself, like physically. Like, I was in way better shape, so I was really overweight back then. So I got myself back into like a fitness routine. Like, I was really trying to be on top of things. I liked the driving. I didn't have my license, and that was a big thing. Like, I really pushed myself, and like, I was somebody that was scared to drive, and I told myself time and time again, like, you're never going to drive, you're never going to have your license, don't pursue that. But I couldn't accept that, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to accept that for myself. So I really pushed myself hard, and I graduated school in 2022, right when my youngest was 1. And I thought of going back to work then, but I still wanted to work on myself a little bit and wait till he got a little bit older, more established, because he was still a little one. And I just want to put my feelers out there, because I think the top job they try to push you into when you have an associate's in criminal justice is policing. And I was like, yeah, there's no way I can go from being that stay-at-home mom girl to police officer. Like, especially in my city, like, there was just no way in hell. So I just put my feelers out there and just tried to see like what was going to be available to me. And finally, the next year, 2023, I was like, I'm ready. And my first little job, it only lasted a month, was doing security at a casino by my house. And I loved it, I honestly did, but I had to work swing shift, and I still wanted a job where I could be a mom as well as working. And because it being swing shift in the casino where you had to work every weekend, like Thursday through Sunday, Thursday through Monday sometimes, it just wasn't working out. I never got any time with my kids or my husband like that. I was missing out on like parties, cookouts, all that stuff. So I just was like, it's not for me, but I still love security. And it's so funny. I just randomly happened to drive by the hospital, and they had this big banner outside that was like, we're one of the 50 best places to work. And I thought, okay, bet. So I applied online. I seen that they had like a security officer opening, and it said you needed an associate. So I was like, yes. And I was a little hesitant. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get this job, you know, if I'm the right fit for it. But literally, it all happened so fast. Like, after I applied, 2 days later, I had a phone interview. The next week, I had, like, an in-person interview. And then after that, they, like, started getting me ready, like, getting me my uniform. And I guess coming from the casino where the security was, like, it was kind of, like, party. It was a fun time. You just really just told people, like, hey, don't do that. But you weren't allowed to touch anybody. There was a big thing at the casino. You were never allowed to touch guests. So to go from that kind of environment to here, it was almost kind of like, oh my god, like, this is serious. Because they were like, yeah, we go hands-on sometimes. Sometimes you have to, like, go hands-on with patients. And, you know, sometimes it gets crazy. And I was like, man, yeah, it sounds fun, but it's like, ooh, a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of nervous at first because I don't know what I was expecting, but when I seen like the uniforms, the bulletproof vest, they're one of my coworkers now with the K9, and then them having to drive the actual police cruisers. Like, these are security vehicles, these are like fully outfitted police cruisers. I was like, damn, like, this is the real deal. And I knew doing this job and working here would give me the experience that I needed to go out and do other things. And I also wanted to challenge myself to do a job that I thought that I couldn't do, because I always had this voice in the back of my mind, like, kind of doubting me, saying, you know, you're too quiet, you're too nice, you have too big of a heart, you're not what they want in a security officer, you're not what people think of when they see that. And yeah, it made me kind of shy away from it and feel scared. But as I said, I just really wanted to push myself to do something that seemed like it was impossible. And look, here I am. I've been here now since September of 2023, so like 8-9 months, and I honestly love it. Like, yes, my first week was extremely overwhelming. I told myself, oh my god, I'm not gonna learn this hospital. It's a damn maze in here. Like, there's just too much. I'm not gonna learn. But it's just like everything has came to me. Everything has started flowing. You know, you get into a routine at work, and like, I honestly, like, I love this job. I wish I could go back and tell the girl I was in 2015, 2016, be like, look at who you are now. You drive to work, you drive a police cruiser, you go around and help keeping people safe, you go out and talk to people. Like, look at you now. And I'm just so proud of the progress that I made. And I love that I am still able to be a mom, because thankfully I work first shift. So when I get home, I play with my kids, I make them dinner, we spend time together, I give them, you know, baths, put them in bed, and it's just, I love it. I love really being able to do something I love, which is helping people and helping keep people safe and helping them with their problems, you know, listening, and being able to also be a good mom and a good wife. I highly, highly, highly encourage you, anyone watching this, or like, you know, whatever job you're thinking of, I encourage you to push yourself to do it, because that's really what it takes. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to push yourself there, and it's hard. It is so hard. When you get comfortable, you don't want to leave that safe bubble. You feel safe and comforted in there. But if you want change, you have to do it. It is so important. It's so important for your growth, because you never know how strong you are until you are forced to have to be strong. And that was how it was for me. Like, I didn't realize that I could do these things, because I told myself over and over, like I can't. And I believed other things that people said about me, like, you can't do this, you're too this, too that. And you have to get to a point where you're not accepting that, where you're making your life and you what you want to be. And I promise you, it is possible. And I also want to encourage anyone, like, wanting to do a security job like this, or any job. Don't feel like you can't. Don't feel like you're too kind, or you're too shy, or you're not tough enough, because that's not what you always need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have those things. Those aren't weaknesses. Those are actually strengths, and they make you a wonderful person. And I feel like in this industry, and, you know, overall, we need more people like that, with empathy and, you know, willing to help out, okay? I fully believe that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Because I'm telling you guys, like, if you could see who I was back then, you would not believe that I am the person I am now, okay? Like, I was depressed, I was anxious, I was very overweight. I, like, didn't talk to anybody. I would shake when I drive. Now it's just like I can't even, I'm like, that was me, you know? Being a security officer has also shown me that, like this is the type of job environment that I love. I plan on, after having my baby, because I'm pregnant right now, I plan on going out and getting, like, a first responder job. I really want to do, like, EMS, life squad, or, you know, maybe push in the policing. I guess we'll see, but who knows. I love being a security officer because I love my sons seeing me, a woman, in such a strong role. I love that they're seeing their mom, like, be a strong person, and I want to be, you know, I want to be a good role model to them. And I love that I'm able to. I love that I'm able to, like, show them my job, because they come here, they'll have lunch with me sometimes. And my oldest, he, you know, because he's autistic, he loves police cars, fire trucks, ambulances, the lights and sirens. Like, he cannot get enough of. And I've been able to take him for a ride, like, in our cruiser, and he just loves that. He loves that I work here, and it makes me feel so freaking proud. That's all I have for you today, guys. I just wanted to share a little bit of my story so you can get to know me a little better. And I just also wanted to encourage you guys. I just want you guys to know, like, seriously, like, believe in yourself. It sounds cheesy, I know, but honestly, you can do anything. So don't doubt yourself. You're an amazing person, you're a strong person, and you have got this, okay? Alright guys, well, my break is about to end, and I really want to grab something to eat, so I will talk to you later. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, because I'm going to post more videos, like, talking about security life, and maybe throw in some hospital stuff too, okay? Alright guys, bye!